obviously a disappointing result against Glasgow City last time. For you, what is it that you can learn from that experience going into this next fixture?
I mean, we learn a lot about the way we play on the side of their pitch. We find difficult to put the right weight of the pass, especially in the final third. We struggle to create clear-cut chances. We have a few, but not as many as we normally do create. So obviously we have adjusted this week at training. We have modified our training pitch to be a little bit more realistic to the dimensions we are going to find on Sunday, and hopefully we will have a better game in terms of our final third. I thought apart from that, I thought we were good. We built up well. We have I thought it was 68% possession, which is quite good against Glasgow City. But yeah, we didn't have the chances that we should have. So hopefully on Sunday we see a different game.
That's really interesting. Yeah, you talked there about, having the possession, and I know that you've talked in post-match about this kind of lack of clinical finishing in the final third. Is that something you've been working on? And is it about creating more chances? I think over the season, Glasgow City do create more chances, or is it about converting the chances we do create?
Well, the most important thing in football is to put the ball in the back of the net. That's what gives you points. So obviously, the more you create, the more possibilities you have to score. I thought we are creating a lot of chances, and we are missing many clear chances. But we are working on it constantly. We've been working on it for many weeks now. I see the players good. I see the players improving, and obviously, I think sometimes it's about the early chances. You convert one, and then sometimes we have great games. Sometimes the first couple will hit the post or miss a clear chance, and then maybe you lack a little bit of belief, which it happened to any striker. It happened to any football team. You go in moments of better form and worse form. Right now, our opponents are in great form, great goal scoring form, probably their form of the season. And we know it's going to be a very, very difficult game, but we are up for it, and we can't wait for the game to arrive.
Yeah, us as well. Also, in terms of, I always asked about the availability. How's that? And obviously, we know some of the injuries, but is there anyone who's not available for Sunday?
We only got 2 players unavailable. One, apart from obviously with Natalie Ross, we got obviously Chloe Logan, who had surgery yesterday. All went well, so she can start obviously the recovery now. So hopefully we can see her back with us soon. And then obviously Rachel Johnston as well picked an injury, and we will have to assess. But I don't know if she's gonna get to the game, so it might be an opportunity for Anna to play.
And just going into the game on Sunday, I know you've probably not got to give me the answer I want, but if Celtic don't win on Sunday, is your Champions League chances over? And just how important is it to be in the Champions League when you're manager of Glasgow Celtic?
Yeah, we never think, since I'm here, we never think if we don't win a game, because we always believe we are going to win. Sometimes we get it wrong, of course, but we always go into games believing that we are going to win, and we work all week to make sure we win. Sometimes we cannot do it. So I don't want to think what happens if we don't win, because in our mind we are going to give our 120% to try to win the game, knowing that obviously they are in top form. The last 2 games they were very impressive, in a very good scoring form. So it's going to be a very tough game, But in my mind, we are going to play at our strengths, and we are gonna do our best to try to get the 3 points.
And I know so far it's probably been a mixed season, because you won that cup early in the season, got a lot of plaudits for the way you're playing football-wise, but what's gone wrong to be 8 points off the top of the table at this stage of the season, would you say?
Well, obviously what went wrong is regularity. I think, we haven't been as clinical as the other 2 teams. The other 2 teams hasn't dropped points away from the top 3, and we have dropped points with 2 teams away from the top 3. And that has been the difference. The margins has been very, very, very narrow. We have won games with little margins. We have lost games with little margins. Obviously, this year so far we haven't been as clinical so far, as clinical as the other 2, and they have been more consistent than us. But the league still haven't finished, and we will give our best go to try to finish as high as possible.
Yeah, you mentioned clinical there. You kind of alluded to that earlier with Claire. Glasgow City hitting form at this moment in time. They've scored 16 goals in the last 2 games, but we all know Celtic have got goals in them as well, with Charlie Wellings in great form this season Are you expecting one of that gung-ho games that could go either way with a lot of goals on Sunday?
It always has been. Probably the most uneven game that we have this season against them was the cup final in terms of performance, not in terms of result. I think the last game, obviously, it was I think much closer than what the final result was. Some circumstances that I don't want to talk about. But yeah, there is always very even games where little details define games. We normally being quite good controlling the little details. That day we weren't, and I think obviously all our focus all week, not only focus on the tactical and technical, but we work a lot with the psychological, because we know lack of concentrations against top teams and teams in good forms, you can get punished. So hopefully we will see a team that have 100% concentration during the 95 minutes.
Hi, Fran. I think on both those games that you talked about against Glasgow City, there's been a tactical battle, and you certainly won the first one. And also the first game of the season, the second half. If you remember, we were 2-0 down at half time, changed the team, we came back and we could have won it, finished 2-0. But do you think on Sunday there's an option for us with the dynamics of the league to maybe sit in a bit deeper and hit them on the space behind?
Well, obviously we know the game plan, but if I tell you, David, they probably hear it as well, so that will give us a massive disadvantage. But we have made adjustment from our last performance against them, because obviously we didn't consider necessarily as much the dimensions of the pitch, and that make a very big difference in the game. You say how many times we got our 10s in the half turn, and then the final ball was overhit, because obviously we used to train a bigger pitch, and so we adjusted this week, and hopefully that will do the trick, and we will see a team that is a little bit more clinical, and the last ball is better. We have done as well a couple of tactical adjustments that we will see on Sunday, and hopefully work. But listen, they also got a top coach. They are a very good team in good form, so they will also do their adjustments. So it will be another battle where the little details, the team that control better the little details, will win. That's what I think.
I was going to ask you, is Chloe Craig going to play with American football armour on?
That's a question for Chloe.